Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So as you guys already know, TCS NQT is coming up, and at this point you don't have a lot of time left for preparation. And of course, as I already mentioned, this is going to be one of the biggest off-campus opportunity that you'll be seeing. So this is not something that you should be taking lightly, and you should be giving your best preparation. You should be putting your best foot forward in this, because again, let me repeat myself, you will not be seeing an opportunity like this for quite some time now. So I'll be discussing a lot of details in this, specifically more on the coding side of it, because a lot of you guys are worried more about the coding section, how to tackle the coding section. So we're going to discuss everything about it, and you're going to have a clear roadmap in your mind that what you need to do for the next 10, 15 days, for the rest of the days whenever you're watching this video, what to do so that you'll have the best chance of clearing the coding round. First of all, let me tell you one thing, because a lot of you guys are already demotivated. A lot of you guys who are 26 grads specifically, you're thinking, oh, we have to compete with 24 grads, we have to compete with 25 grads, and you're worried, why is there so much competition? Why are they hiring for everyone? Why are we not getting opportunity only for 26 grads? Because 25 grads got an opportunity for themselves, 24 grads got an opportunity for themselves. So 26 grads are now demotivated and saying that the competition is going to be huge. How are we going to take part? What is going to happen? So one thing you have to understand is that TCS knows what they're doing, right? If they have opened it for 24, 25, and 26, they know that a lot of people will be taking part. So they are ready for it, and they have a sufficient number of openings to match it. That is the main thing you have to understand. And one more plus point you have here is that they are basically focusing more on digital and prime roles, meaning they have a sufficient number of digital and prime roles, which is a plus point for you, because you'll be getting a higher chance to get your dream role, which is of course either going to be prime, or a step down it is going to be digital. And prime and digital get to work on the best projects, you get to work on the latest technologies. So definitely you will be getting a sufficient chance if you're well prepared. It's not that the competition is going to be tremendously high. You will be getting a very good chance if you're well prepared, okay? But of course, you still have to prepare well, otherwise you may end up getting rejected. So the goal here is to crack the prime role, or if not, at least the digital role. That's what the mindset I want you to have. Now, we all know NQT comprises of two things. You have aptitude, advanced aptitude, and then you have coding. Now, I have made a dedicated video about aptitude, I have made a sheet about aptitude. Let's put that aside. Let's focus on the coding section, because coding is going to be the main thing. If you want to crack the prime role, if you want to get the interview call for prime role, you need to be a good coder. You need to do well in coding section, otherwise there's no chance that you'll be getting an interview call for prime or digital role. So let's understand everything in detail. See, you'll be having two questions, you'll be having 90 minutes. Let's say you'll be having 35 minutes for the first question, you'll be having 55 minutes for the second question. The time here is not bad. The first thing I want you to understand is that you will be having sufficient timing. It's not that you're on a time crunch. You will be having sufficient timing, but you need to have enough hands-on practice. If you don't have enough hands-on practice, if you're not prepared for the right topics, then you're gonna panic, you're gonna make mistakes, and then even 90 minutes is gonna feel very less. So what are the things that you need to focus on? So as already mentioned, you're gonna have two questions. Generally, the first question is easy, and the second question is medium and can range up to medium hard. Second question will not be actual hard. Let's say if you're taking lead code for comparison, it's not going to be proper lead code hard. It is going to be either medium, or it is going to be medium to hard. The first question is going to be easy, but there have been cases where the first question is also hard, and people felt that the first question was actually harder than the second question. So there have been cases like that. Again, we cannot like predict how exactly it is going to be, but general, the first question is easy, second question is medium to hard. Now, what you need to do, so first let's understand the topics, right, and then we'll go into what you need to do. So if we take a look at the most important topics for first question, the most important topics are going to be arrays and strings. Definitely there's a 80 to 90% chance that the first question is going to be either an array question or a string question, or it's going to be a mathematical question, or it's going to be a binary manipulation question or bit manipulation question. For example, it could be question like you have two numbers n and k, you have to convert n into k, and what you can do, you can convert n into binary. You can take any bit that is 1 and you can change it to 0, and you have to turn n into k. How many operations will it take? Is it possible? So either it will be something related to conversion, where you have to do binary conversion, you have to do bitwise conversion. It can be something related to numbering, it can be something related to decimals, it can be something related to all of these things. So numbering system, decimal system, binary system, and just number theory in general is going to have a good chance of coming up in the first question, aside from, of course, arrays and strings. Arrays and strings are going to have a very, very good chance of appearing in the first question, right? First question can be very easy. Again, it could be something very, very easy, like you have to just divide two numbers and round off to the nearest decimal. It could be very easy. It could be very easy string question where you have two strings given and you have to do certain operation to again convert one to another. One thing I've noticed is that they ask a lot of conversion question that convert one thing to other, convert one, like either string or one number or one array to other. So you can expect conversion question, right? But first question is not going to be that high. So these are the general topics that you might be seeing in first question. Second question, again, you will have arrays, you will have strings, but the difficulty will be a little bit high and you will need some optimization techniques here. So you may need something like sliding windows, you may need something like two pointers. So arrays and strings are there, but on an off chance, you may get some other algorithm as well. So there's a good chance that you may get a recursion problem. There's a good chance you may get a DP problem. But if a DP problem comes, it is not going to be a very difficult DP problem. It is going to be more on the basic side. So if you have solved, let's say in DP, if you have solved all of the classical problems, then you will be able to solve it, right? So you may have recursion, you may have DP. Again, an off chance, you may have graph problem as well. But again, they'll stick to DFS and BFS. They'll not go into any advanced algorithm, right? So again, these are the general topics you can expect. I'll give a list in the description box of all the topics so that you guys don't get confused and you're at least having an idea of what to prepare for. Now let's talk about. So now we understand how the rounds are going to be. Now let's understand how you have to perform in the rounds, and then we'll talk about the preparation. So the first thing is that you have to be very, very mindful of the time. I don't want you to waste time at all. A lot of people, I'll tell you what happens, right? And this happened to someone who I know, right? So what they did, they looked at the question, they thought, oh, it's very easy. And they wrote the entire code, they went through everything, and then at a later part, they realized that they had read the question wrong and the technique will not work. So they needed a new optimization technique, had to think of everything, rewrite the entire code. This is something that I don't want you to go through. I know it seems very obvious. I know it seems like something that you'll not be doing. But in the time crunch, in the panicky situation, you may make the silly mistake. So be very clear. Have a roadmap for yourself. Have a flow for yourself. First thing, give proper time to the question. It's not that you don't have enough time and you have to just immediately start coding. Give at least 5 minutes to the question, read the question properly, and come to the right approach in the first try. That's what I want you to do. I don't want you to code and then realize it's wrong and then change your approach. No, that wastes a lot of time. Have the first approach ready the first time, right? So the flow goes like this. Read the question, come to the right approach theoretically, however you can, and then prepare coding, and of course, focus on the edge cases and then submit. This is the flow you need to have, okay? Not like read the question, then code, then read the question, then change your approach. No, it has to be linear, okay? Especially for the second question, it can be tricky. A lot of times people feel that second question is actually easy, and then later they realize it's actually difficult. It's not easy. Second question can be very, very tricky. So be more careful on the second question. First question, if it seems easy, there's a good chance it is easy. You don't need to worry much about it. Second question, it can be tricky. Even if it appears easy, just double check everything, whether you have the best approach or not. Okay. All right. Now everything is clear. Now let's get to the preparation. How do you prepare for the next remaining days, whatever days you have left according to whenever you're watching these videos, 10 week, whatever days you have left, what do you do in this? First thing, and the best advice I'm going to give you, is go through previous year coding question. This is very important for any service-based company. Infosys, TCS, Cognizant, Capgemini, LTI Mindtree, any company you're going for, the first and foremost, the most important thing you need to do is go through previous year question. Of course, a lot of people will be, opening up and putting on their YouTube channel, or you'll find on websites like Prep Insta, you'll find previously asked coding question. Solve as much as you can. Every day, at least give 1 to 2 hours dedicatedly just to solving previous year questions. Till the time the interview comes or the round comes, give at least 1 to 2 hours every day just on solving previous year coding problems. Apart from that, the second thing you need to do is master your, programming language. This is one more thing that I forgot to talk about. A lot of times people have issue in input output. Again, this may seem like something very obvious. Okay, hey, I'll not make a mistake in input output. But a lot of times people make mistakes in input output because in TCS it's not like how you're used to. It's a bit different, right? So again, I'll give a video, just watch that, you'll understand. But you have to be very good with the programming language you're using. Whatever you're using, You need to be a master of that language, the library, whatever things are there in that language, you need to be a master of it. So solve previous year question, master the programming language that you're choosing. Apart from that, what you need to do is you need to start giving contests. So this is a very important thing. Of course, you can solve problems. I highly recommend, at least for arrays and strings, solve problems. Solve at least 30, 40, 50 problems before the coding rounds. And I'm not saying only solve easy problems, medium problems. Okay. I'll tell you a very good tip right now that a lot of people don't know about. So there's a website called zerotrack.io. What they do is they basically give rating to lead code problems. So lead code is divided into easy, medium, and hard, right? But of course, easy can be easy can be hard, medium can be very easy, medium can be. So there are various difficulty even in medium, even in easy. So what they do, they divide it more. So what you need to do, you need to solve problems rated from 1400, go on zerotrack.io, solve problems rated from 1400 to 1600. Or if you want to, even like go even on the easy problem, you can do 1300 to 1600 or 1200 to 1600. And then go on arrays problem, go on string problems, and then try to solve it. At least 30, 40, 50 problems on arrays and strings you need to be able to solve. Again, try to have like half and half for easy and medium. Handful of hard also you can solve just to understand. But array and string you definitely need to focus more on, because half of the coding round is going to be definitely depending on arrays and strings. Apart from that, one thing that I'll highly recommend you to do, start giving lead code contests, because I want you to practice under time constraint. A lot of times, a lot of you guys may not have given contests. I know for a fact a lot of you guys who are watching this video have never given any lead code contest in your life, right? And that's okay. We have to start somewhere. But right now is the time to start. Start giving lead code contests. I even recommend give at least one or two code forces contests just to be in the right mindset. You don't have to sit for the real contest. If you get a chance, very well, go like wake up in the like early morning, on weekend, whenever lead code hosts a contest, give a real contest, even better, or you can give it virtually. In lead code contest, focus on solving the first three. First two are generally depending on array and string. In lead code contest, first two problems are array and string problems, or they can be binary, or they can be number system or recursion, something like that, which is very similar to the like first or second problem you'll see in TCS NQT. So try to solve the first three problems. If the third problem is too difficult, you may skip it, but try to solve the first three problems in lead code contest. So I recommend at least giving a handful, 4 or 5 lead code contests, again depending on how much time you have. Give 4 or 5 lead code contests just to be in the right mindset, and knowing how to like basically behave while under a time constraint, because a lot of time the people don't have that practice. Okay, so again, in a nutshell, master your programming language, do previous year question, focus on arrays and strings, recursion, number theory, conversion, and like some advanced algorithms, but only at a like classic level, not on a like high level, only on a classic level, like classic DP, classic graph theory, something like that. Okay, and again, more important topics are going to be in the description box. Apart from that, try to give some contests so that you come in the right mindset. Apart from that, be confident, don't be nervous. If you panic in the contest, you may end up because it's a long contest, right? And if you panic at one question, even if it's an aptitude, you may end up ruining the entire thing. So go with a chill mood, go with confidence, imagine that whatever is there, you will be able to solve it. I want you to have the mindset that you're ready for whatever they bring to the table. You will be able to solve it 110%. That's the mindset you need to have before the contest. Okay, so prepare well. You have a little bit of time left, not less. It's sufficient, right? If you give good amount of time, if you're able to give 3, 4, 5 hours, whatever according to how your daily routine is, you will be able to perform very well. I guarantee you. Okay, that's pretty much it for this video. And again, you can watch some interview experiences that I've made. I have invited 4 people on my channel who have all cracked TCS Prime. You can watch their videos to get a little bit motivation, but practice well, do a lot of problems, and definitely you'll do well. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you guys want more videos, or you guys want more tips for cracking TCS and QT. And definitely I'll bring you guys one more interview experience like before the interviews. So yeah, thank you for watching. Let's see you guys in the next one.